Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet, and this is the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise here. This is Steeler Nation, and we are looking at weeks 9 and 10 of the NFL season. As you take a look at week 11, there you see we are 9 and 0 going into this game against the 5 and 4 New England Patriots. We'll talk about the Patriots here later on in the episode, what some keys to the game and some things we need to look for coming up in that matchup. But first, we'll take a look at the standings here. We'll see we're 9 and 0 for the year. We have won 9 straight here, as the Bengals, there you see right behind us, 6 and 3. Browns 2 and 7, and the Ravens, man, Ravens are still winless here. They are 0-8 and 1, man. Rough go. They have now lost, looks like they lost 4 straight here. So we'll see what, we'll have to keep an eye on for them. I don't know. I can't remember if we play them. I think we're done playing them, I think we still just, I think we just have the Browns and the Bengals coming up. So we're done with the Ravens. So we don't have to worry about them. But we'll take a look at the rest of the standings here, and you guys can just check those out. I'll kind of point out anything that you guys need to know what's going on in those standings right now. The Colts right there, as you see, the Colts 2-5, 2-5-2 actually. They're having a rough go at it here. And then the same thing, we'll take a look here at the AFC East. Bills are on top there, along with the Patriots. They are both 5 and 4. Patriots don't have Tom Brady anymore because he decided to call it quits. He retired last season. And he will no longer be a menace and no longer be a headache to AFC East opponents now. So, and at least to opponents like myself. But we'll go ahead and move on here. AFC West, they got the Chargers 5 and 4, Broncos 4 and 5, Chiefs 4 and 5, and Raiders 3 and 6. Yeah, I've said this before in other videos. I'm not a Tom Brady lover. I don't like the Patriots at all. Even before Tom Brady, I was not really of course I never was a fan of them because they wasn't really on my radar. But the last couple of years, it's just kind of like, yeah, not really impressed. You guys have a good team. You guys should be going to the playoffs year in year out. So, but there you see the Lions in first place, 7 and 2. Packers 6 and 3. They lost to us last week. There, we'll show you guys about that. Vikings 2 and 6 and 1. And then the Bears round off here at 2 and 7. I think the Bears right now I think they have shoo-in to get the 30 or the first pick of the NFL draft coming up. Take a look at the Saints, 8-0-1. Falcons 4-3 and 2. Panthers 4 and 5, or excuse me, 5 and 4. And the Bucks there 2 and 7. Eagles 8-1 and 0, Giants 6 and 3, Cowboys 5 and 4, and the Redskins 2 and 7. So Eagles, and I say the Saints and ourselves got a pretty good record right now. We're looking pretty good here, and we could see a really good matchup. I wouldn't mind playing against the Eagles for the Super Bowl there. And then we'll finish off here the NFC West with the Seahawks 9 and 0. They are still undefeated, along with us, and the Cardinals Cardinals are 5 and 4. 49ers 2 and 7, and then the 0 and 9 Rams. So the Rams actually are worse than the Bears right now. Jeez. So they have they'll have the number 1 pick there. So I knew one of those two teams were going to get the number 1 pick for next season. But we'll go ahead and look into week 9 here, and that, of course, was against the Tennessee Titans. There, we were in town there for that game, and they were in town in Pittsburgh for that game, as the running game was MIA the week before, and this week we just decided to just say, hey, we got to get Bell the chance here to do something. And he did so. Ben Roethlisberger had 4 touchdowns in that game with an interception, 447 yards, 23 to 34 in his pass attempts there. So that's 67% there. Mariota, 58% of his passes were completed, 17 and 29, 3 touchdowns, 293 yards there for him in that game, as they do pick up the victory. I should say Bell didn't pick up the victory, or Mario, I should say the Steelers picked up a victory. Bell, 200 yards. Yeah, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, 27 carries for him. What a day for him. Nice job there, as he had a great day there on the ground, and we were very happy to see that. There you see Willington. There you see 70 yards, 16 carries for 1 touchdown. He had a really good start there, and was kind of getting worried there because he was just running too well there to start off. But then we were able to start shutting him down there towards the latter half of the first half, and then of course the second half there. We didn't see too much of him running the ball. Now he did catch the ball a couple of times there. You'll see that here in just a bit, but. Whedon, 143 yards, 5 receptions, 2 touchdowns. Green, 6 receptions, 102 yards, no touchdowns. And that's kind of been a thing here. Green here, every other week he'll have over 100 yards and maybe a touchdown or 2. But this week, he's been not being able. We just haven't been able to get him the ball. Now, even though we are trying to use Jesse James a little bit more here, try to get him some catches and get him some opportunity to score. It's been a trouble here. It's been troublesome, and we just got to try to see if we can, try to do better. Try to get him to, get in the end zone and just find some plays for opportunity there for him. But Marcus Wheaton, he had 5 receptions for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns in the game. And I think I said Brian also had 4 receptions, 81 yards, along with Brown. Brown had the same thing, but no touchdowns. Brian had 2. Go on here and see the defensive here. And like I said, a really good defensive game. Not a... nothing that defense wasn't as superb as we wanted to be, because we did give up 4 touchdowns. They did score 28 points on us. But I think I was pretty satisfied with what they did, for what they could do. 6 tackles are for Rockwell. Cameron Hayward, 2 tackles, a half a sack, along with Twitt, who has the other half there. And 3 tackles there for him. Fort, 2 tackles, tackle for loss. Hargrave, 2 tackles, tackle for loss. Ryan Shazier, 6 tackles. Mike Mitchell, 6 tackles and tackle for loss. And then Lawrence Timms, 4 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. And Bolden, the rookie, he had 4 tackles and a tackle for loss. Now, as for Week 10, we try to get better here, but we had a slow start. There you see the first quarter, they scored 17 points on us. We already had 2 interceptions, both of which were pick sixes. They took them back, and it was just a bad day. Now, I said in that video there that Ben had a rough go there, and the rumor has it that he's having a little eye problem. He's having some eye issues. He's having a little blurriness, he says. I'm not for sure if he wears contacts or if he has glasses or anything like that, but we're trying to see if we try to work it out as much as we could. Now, there you see 543 yards in that game, 5 touchdowns, but he also had 5 picks there. Man, a tough day for him. I think it was just because of bad reading from him, just not taking the time and really looking at the field and reading what he was doing here. Because, and at the same time, too, the Packers, you got to give it up to the Packers. Packers, head-to-head with the Lions right now, they don't have the tiebreaker, so they needed this win against us this week to stay above and afloat there in the NFC North. But, yeah, just a rough week, or just a rough game here. Like I said, we do win the game. Bell, there you see 16 carries, 45 yards, no touchdowns there for him. Lacey, 22 carries, 71 yards, and he also was shut down in the rushing touchdown department. We'll go ahead and move on here. Escobar, there you see Gavin Escobar of the Packers. There you see his numbers, 11 catches for 83 yards, no touchdown. Bryant, There you see his numbers: 108 yards, 10 catches, and 2 touchdowns for him. Marcus Wheaton, 8 catches, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jordy Nelson, 5 receptions, 121 yards, 1 touchdown. And then Green, 5 receptions, 164 yards, and 1 touchdown. That's what we like to see from him, getting those 150, 160 yards in a game and getting those 1 or 2 touchdowns. Jesse James there, like I said, we're trying to implement him more. We could have did a lot more with him in this game, but since we were 2 possessions down a lot of times, we just could not, try to utilize him as we should have in that game. And like I said, we should have used him a little bit more there. We should have taken him. We should have actually swapped him and Green out as had him play as the first tight end and have Green play as the second. So kind of give some pressure off of Green and they can focus in having Green on the field at the same time as him, but really have them try to focus in on Green than on Jesse James. But on the other side of the ball there, defensively, Ryan Shazier, 14 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, a sack. 10 tackles, tackle for loss, and half a sack. Cameron Hayworth, 4 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. He has the other half of that sack. Tewitt, 3 tackles, a sack. Hargrove, he had 8 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and a sack. And Mike Mitchell, 6 tackles and an interception there. Fortunately, it wasn't a pick 6 like we wanted to, but you see Quentin Roll there. He had that interception there for the Packers that went back, and that got us there. And then we'll take a look at some of the sacks there for Green Bay. There you see Mike Daniels had that big sack there against Roethlisberger there in that game. So a really good start for the Packers. Really true. They did a great job of really putting it on and just making us work for it. But we were able to come back and fought back, very valiantly and very hard. I would say probably one of the best games by far that we had this year of trying to come back and doing so. And I'm very proud of those guys here. But next week we got to get things going for ourselves. We got to get off the bat and keep it rolling, and especially keep Ben upright and have Ben give him some time here to look. In this game, we didn't give him too much time there. You see here, he is leading the interceptions in the NFL, along with touchdowns. He's hitting, he's throwing over now, or getting close to 400 yards in this season. But we just got to get him a better job of being able to get him to look down the field and realize, kind of just check guys off if they're not open. Some of those were forced that he was just trying to force it in, and the other ones were just bad reads. Just didn't read the defense that well, and just it happens. Especially he knew this game was kind of important to us, or kind of important because we had a chance here to play against a really good defense who just by far, I think that week before they played against the Vikings there and had a really good game, only giving up 3 points to the Vikings there. And they played in Minnesota there, so they won that game 38-3. So defense was, electric from the previous week, and especially playing against us, the way we've been moving the ball and scoring a lot of high points. This was definitely a game that they had to win. They had to show what they were up to, and they definitely did show it there, playing all 4 quarters long. They played hard all 4 quarters, but just let up towards the end there because we were able to figure out what we were doing wrong and correcting those mistakes there on the field. So we can't let that happen again next week when we take on the Patriots in Week 11 because the Patriots right now, they've been looking for some wins here. Right now they're just 1 game above 500, but they want to keep it going here. They got that young quarterback there, Jimmy Garoppolo, and they want to keep him successful and keep him upright. But there you see, we're just taking a look here as I'm rambling on here. We're just taking a look at some season stats there, and you guys can take a look at those and check those out. But yeah, going back to that Packers game, it was a really good fought, coming back from, down 17, and there's I think for the most part there we were down by 10 for quite a bit there. until we were able to just, find some get some good plays, find some key moments in that game to really take advantage of it and just kind of move and do what we need to do best. Go ahead and take a look at the top players from the week 9, and there you see Baer there with his game that he had there against the Titans there, that 200-yard game with 3 touchdowns, 27 carries there for him in week 9. So congrats to him. There's some other guys there. We got Armstead there for the 49ers, and you got Adams there, the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. There, and then you got a Raven there. He has a defensive game of the week there. So their defense is trying to get there, but they're just having a tough time just giving up too many points. And then we'll take a look here at week 10. You got Russell Wilson there for the Seahawks. You got Diggs there for the Lions, all for defense. Offense, you got Luck for the Colts, and then for the defense side of the ball, Zach Brown for the Raiders. So we'll go ahead and take a look at just some of the news here, just what's going on here around the league, talking about some teams just making just trying to make that push into the second half of the season, and just trying to take a risk here. You got a couple of some pretty good matchups here coming up. You see the Texans taking on Baltimore. That should be an interesting game there. And then of course us there talking about what we've had the last week, with the Packers coming back from that win there and fighting for that one. So, but like I said, a good thought out game. They won by 4, a really close one there. Because honestly, I was really thinking this was it. I mean, after I seen a 17-0 game, I'm like, this is going to be a long day for us, and this is going to be an ugly loss for us. But there you see some of the draft stories there. You got a couple of players there we've been looking at, and they're seeing if their stock goes up or down. Some of them going up. We got one player there that's having some off-the-field trouble there, and his stock looks like it's plummeting. So take a look as we wrap up here and get ready to wrap up this video. We got one more thing to talk about here, and that's against the Patriots. There you see the Patriots last game they played against the Jags there. Lost that one 39-21. Before that, they had a 2-game winning streak against the Dolphins and Jets. So they've been doing good against their own within their own division here, but just outside the division, having a tough time. Now, Rob Gronkowski or Gronkowski, there you see his numbers there, and the superstar player that he is out of Arizona. 7-year guy, 6'6", 265 pounds, and that's on offense. Their offense, we have to try to shut down Gronk. If we can shut down Gronk and get him in a situation here where we can bat the ball away, put a good hit on him, even though he's a bigger guy than most players. He's bigger than a lot more than a lot of the players that are out there. We just got to try to really get him, just in control. Just kind of get him knocked out of the game, or just kind of shut him down. Now, the core of all this is Jimmy Garoppolo, the 3-year guy from Eastern Illinois. Where you see his deep passing is not great at all, but we will have to try to see if we can put pressure on him. So I'm thinking this week we're going to try to use a lot more blitz packages, especially when it's like third and long or whatever. We get in that situation, really try to blitz Jimmy as much as possible. Try to get some sacks. So you see 24 sacks already this season, and we'll try to see if we can tack on some more on him. And then on the running game, we have to try to see if we can shut down Dion Lewis. They're a 6-year man from Pittsburgh, 195 pounds, 26 years of age. So he got great speed, great acceleration. Just his trucking and his stiff arm, not the greatest at all. But he is a guy. He's a fighter. He's going to fight us for that extra yardage. Looking at some practice tape of him, he is definitely one of those old school running backs that just, small guy that's not going to take any crap for anybody, and we're going to just really have to put a lot of guys in the box there to stop him. Now, Julian Edelman, he's out for the next 4 weeks, I think. Here's a rotator cuff. He's going to be out, and so we're not too worried about him. the 8-year man from Kent State. He's one of the main wide receivers there for us. He does have decent speed for a wide receiver for his abilities. Definitely great catch. And there you see some of the numbers he's had so far here. But he's going to be out for a while here. So we're not too much worried about him, but I just want to show you his numbers of what he's done so far this season. But if he was in the game, that would be one other guy that we would have to, if we got to be able to shut down Gronk, we definitely have to shut down him. Danny Amendola, there you see here, Texas Tech guy, 9-year guy, 31 years of age, 5'11", 190 pounds, decent speed, not the greatest speed, but great run route and a great catch there. We will have to definitely try to get him in. He's another person to shut down. So, again, quarterback, that's the first person we have to try to get. And if we cannot get the quarterback, then we got to start putting pressure on the outside there with the wide receivers and tight ends. Just shut him down to at least try to get him to play one-dimensional there for a while. And try to get, try to really just try to, get good field position. D4, the former Kansas City Chief, now with the Patriots. There you see, linebacker there. He is going to be the guy that we're going to have to worry about when we're on offense. Defensively here, they are pretty sound. And, of course, if you guys know D Ford, he is a great outside linebacker there. He can read the quarterback very well. And he can also put a good stop on the rushing game there, too. So he's a good run stopper there. But we'll see here, too, Devin McCourty, 7-year man of Rutgers. This is a guy that we're going to have to watch out here when we go for those mid-range and deep passes that we try to do here at times. Because, Ben, he knows. He's probably been watching tape on Ben because, Ben has now 17 interceptions here. He wouldn't mind tacking on a few more here. So that is something we're going to have to try to avoid here coming up in Week 11. So Week 11, it's already set up here, ready to go. It's a 5-4 Patriots going against a 9-0 Steelers here, and it should be a fun game indeed. Yeah, clash of the wills here. Of course, that was from last week, but we'll definitely have another clash here between these two good teams. Now, even though, Tom Brady is not in this game, but it's still going to be a tough game to say the least here, as we do have to focus in on here and try to make a good start here, especially on defense. Just come out there and just hit them hard, and just set the tone on defense of how we want this game to be played. So that is going to be coming up here. That video should be coming out here very soon for you guys. Stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for more Pittsburgh Steelers franchise here on ESGNet. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, please leave a like. Also, don't forget to hit that subscription button to subscribe for more Pittsburgh Steelers franchise here on ESGNet, and also for Steeler Nation. Thank you guys so much for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr for the latest news when videos are coming out, and latest news on sports and sports gaming and everything in general. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, keep yourself and each other healthy, and I will see you guys next time.